I mean, everybody know I got this single white female situation going on where this woman that's got STDs is going around trying to tell people that I'm promiscuous, and this woman who do drugs got everybody, this woman with all these issues is going around trying to single white female me, and that shit, like I said, is weird enough in and of itself to where I can't even really. I guess I get where she keep trying to attack me, so won't nobody look at her. But that speaks for itself, right?
Hey, loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am this evening. Listen, guys, we are going to get into some hot ass fucking topics tonight, child, okay? Because something came to the desk today, okay? And I'll tell y'all, it was right in our very fucking face the other night, but I missed it. I absolutely missed it, okay? And you know why? It's because I'm not really necessarily looking for things, right? But the universe has a way of doing things sometimes when you're actually living right, you know what I'm saying? And when you're doing the right things in life, when you're, attempting to try to live the best ways that you can, right? And do the right things and teach the people around you how to do the same thing. The universe will work in your favor, okay? And so that even means in war, okay? When a motherfucker is fucking with you, huh, the universe will work in your favor, okay? And I'm letting you know now that there was something that came down on this desk today that is so diabolical that it's worse, guys, like worse, okay, than the 15. And really, it was, shout out to Raw B, it was really 16 STD tests that Miss Carrie'Ann had to take, okay, in the past few years. All right. 16 STD tests plus 4 pregnancy tests, right? That's what actually happened with Carrie'Ann, which is what we proved the other day. But see, today we're not here to rehash any of that. What I'm sick and tired of, right, is listening to this stupid bitch run around here telling y'all that I'm this alcoholic, I'm this drug addict, I'm all these things. And I've been telling this stupid bitch, prove it, right? And I'm not jumping up and down and getting all screaming and hollering and yelling and mad and angry and following her all over the place like she follows us all over the place, right? I'm not doing any of that. I'm just telling her, prove it, right? But again, while you're trying to dig a grave for somebody, you end up digging a grave for yourself, right? This is why you shouldn't be a grave digger, okay? This is why you should not be a bone carrier, right? You shouldn't be doing things like that and living in those types of ways because that energy returns to you, okay? This is energy 101, in case some of y'all didn't know these things. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, okay? We're going to talk a little bit, we've already gotten into that, but we're going to talk a little bit about, personal boundaries and personal history and why I would never jump into this ring with you, Carrie, when it comes to, not that way, sweetheart, okay? Like I said, the Lord fights my battles, okay? Literally, the Lord fights my battles. I don't have to jump in the ring and fight and smack bitches. Like I ain't got to do none of that shit. You understand? Because I actually want to do the right things in life. And I want to teach my younger ones to do the same things and to follow in the same path as me. At least do better than me. You understand? And the only way I can do that is if I'm living right myself. And I do that quietly every single fucking day without asking for permission from anybody except God. Okay? And he gives me the permission to give myself the permission to walk in those ways and to teach those things to my people, to my family, to my children, to my granddaughter. God has given me that energy to do that. And because of that, and because I use it in the right way, God rewards me, whether it's in love or whether it's in war. Okay? Just remember that and honor that. Because today I'm going to make you honor God, sweetheart. Okay? I'm going to make you a motherfucking believer today, sweetheart. Okay? Because you need to understand who you dealing with. Okay? I'm not just one of these motherfucking bitches that just out here, just bothering bitches and I'm just, acting like I'm really one of these hoes. I'm not one of these bitches. I'm actually a child of God. Huh. Okay. And when you touch the children of God, it's like touching his eyeball. And you gonna feel the wrath of God today, sweetheart. The demons that have been keeping you up at night, they gonna look you smooth in your face tonight, bitch. I'm not playing with you. See, I don't have control over you. I only have control over me and how I handle it and how I deal with it. And so I choose to put it in the hands of God. And look what he be doing, fighting them battles for me. So today, we're going to put this shit to rest about you, okay? And we're also going to understand why, again, I would never be dumb enough to fight you from such a stupid angle as showing my medical history to anyone. I'm going to get into y'all comments. I definitely appreciate everybody that's in the building today. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I do appreciate all of the commentary, all the likes, everybody that's been, supporting the show behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, everybody that's been out here. Again, I really love and appreciate every single one of y'all. We're going to go ahead and get into it tonight. We're going to have a little church tonight. Huh. Amen. Okay. Because we're going to understand a thing or two about the Lord. Now, let's get into this. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get into y'all comments in just 1 second, guys. But we are going to play a quick timer so that we can go ahead and segue right into that. The beautiful Bernice, I appreciate you being in the building today. Clark, appreciate you, sis, for being in the building as well. Everybody speaking to each other. Redbone, I appreciate you being in the building, sis. All right, beautiful Bernice, Clark, everybody's talking. Hey, Joe, appreciate you as well. YouTube Unfolded, definitely appreciate you. Ray Triggs, appreciate you for being in the building. Everybody's just speaking to each other. YM, definitely appreciate you. You said, why did y'all beg this lady for timers on her last live? Shout out to you for being in the building. Definitely appreciate that. Okay, so I think, hey, TMK, definitely appreciate you for being in the building. I know that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the timer again. So shout out to you for that. I appreciate you digging that up for me. I promise you, I don't know what happened to it. It's been a while. It's probably been like 5 years since you sent that to me. So 5 or 6 years since you sent that to me. So I don't know where it is now. So, but shout out to you. I appreciate you grabbing that up for me. Mind Chaos Brew, definitely appreciate you. Raw B for being in the building. Spot 'em, definitely appreciate you for being in the building as well. Everybody's just kind of speaking. Okay, I just wanted to get through the comment section. I see all the swords in the chat. Shout out to the handmaidens in the chat. Let's see. We got all the handmaidens in the building. Holy Spirit, activate. Yes. Yes, honey. Yes. Ain't nothing like the Lord. You understand? Amen, sisters. Amen, brothers. What's up, Lorna Williams? Definitely appreciate you being in the building. Okay, guys. So we're about to get right into this shit because I don't really want to be spending a lot more time on this. And like I said, right? I don't have control over other people, but I absolutely do have control over me. And I also can show the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So you can do that and you don't have to keep repeating the truth. The truth is just the truth. It's always going to be that, right? But sometimes you just got to kind of show the truth and show a mirror to a motherfucker for them to really understand some shit, right? And to really get some things about some things, right? I know that Carrie thinks that she is the smartest person in the room and that she can manipulate everybody into believing whatever she thinks that she wants them to believe. But honey, we're smarter than that. Okay, you got to be quicker than that. What's up, Sel? Definitely appreciate you being in the building tonight. Yeah, you got to be smarter than that. You understand? You got to understand that we're smarter than that. That we are much more educated than that, right? And we're also an entire sector full of researchers, right? We're not necessarily people that docs or whatever the case may be, but we look up shit, we research shit, we get to the bottom of shit, right? We investigate things, we like to know things, right? We come from a history of a sector that gets into debates with each other, whether good or bad, argue, fight, whatever, whether, and we go back and forth and literally go over topics and serious discussions. And we have a history of doing this in the sector. Okay. So I'm not sure why, Carrie, you think you can come into a group of people, a group of professional people, and think that you're going to change the scope of that. And that somehow we're going to start, being able to be manipulated by you. So if you just say something, we're just going to go with it, right? Without any evidence, without any proof or anything like that. You just say something and we go with it. And then you get mad when we don't, right? I find that really fucking funny. And I'm going to tell you, Carrie, I really think that at this point, you should just stop embarrassing yourself, okay? Because, I know you're probably not. You love to die on your sword and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you are truly embarrassing yourself at this point, okay? Because after tonight, I don't think you're going to want to bother me anymore. I heard you say today you didn't want to bother me anymore. But you still had to put one last motherfucking disrespectful piece in that. And that was what you said when you said that I am a drug addict, alcoholic, STD having bitch. Oh, yeah? Well, we already proved that you were projecting your STD having ass onto me already with that. But is it really so, Carrie-Ann, that you're not or are projecting alcoholism and drug use onto me as well, right? Is that a thing, Carrie, with you as well? Huh. We're going to find out tonight whether it is, right? Because we're going to do some research, on some testing that I didn't see the other day. Because I stopped after the HPV, okay? Shout out to Vita V. She was over there looking at that shit too, and she just pulled back like, honey, we wanted to get an antibiotic we didn't even want to touch the computer anymore. After listening to all the wording of the 15 different STI screenings that you had to have, right? And then I stopped there. And that was God giving you an opportunity, sweetheart. That was God right there at that moment, giving your dumbass an opportunity to just leave her alone. Don't keep bothering my children. You understand? Just leave this one alone, okay? Just keep on going on with your life, okay? Do whatever. But this one, don't bother her, right? That was your opportunity. Because Carrie, what you shared with us. That's why you took those videos down, because you know what's in those records. You know what you showed me, right? You know what you showed us. You know you done fucked up. I wish I had that P timer, right? Shout out to P from where Menace to Society, where that time where he'd be like, you done fucked up, right? You bought the bottle of beer at 12:30. Honey, you fucked up, okay? Because you, again, trying to grandstand on the women of the sector. You so clean. You so much better. You trying to grandstand on Shakim. Shakim, show your HIV records. Shakim, show this. Shakim, show how much drugs you're using, Shakim. Let's take a drug test, Shakim. Do you remember that, Carrie? Do you also remember when them AFWs told you to shut your motherfucking mouth, bitch, because that motherfucking mouth is going to destroy you, bitch? Right? And I told you to stop feeding into the motherfuckers because they are going to destroy you in that same demonic energy, you're going to still turn around and allow it to continue to destroy you. And this is now where you stand. See, like I said, I'm going to make you a believer tonight, ho. Okay? Listen to me. Let me go ahead and share my screen, Carrie, on how serious I am, on why this should never, ever happen with you or any Black woman or any Black man or anybody at all. Why no one should ever, ever, ever want to share their medical history online. It is a serious, serious thing. In case you didn't know, Carrie, the teacher, right? Shout out to Tucker High School and DeKalb County for getting your ass out of the fucking classroom around our students. Because you should never be in a classroom. Not with the type of mind you have, not with the type of shit you do, not with the type of medical history you have, right? No, you should not post your medical records on YouTube. Doing so exposes highly sensitive personal information, creating significant risks for identity theft, fraud, and a permanent loss of privacy, as data uploaded to third-party platforms is no longer protected by HIPAA privacy rules, right? See, all these tests, including those 16 STI screenings that you had to have, all the blood work that you had to have done, all the blood workups that you have to get done, all the medications you take, right? The names of the doctors, right? The times, the dates, the amount of time. This is now on the internet forever. Okay? Not even about my channel. There's always now a digital print of what you put on the fucking internet, bitch. Okay? And guess what? Now all of this stuff is what you could face based off of this, right? VA records. If you're a veteran, never upload your VA records to social media. Instead, use your official channels to share files, ensuring they remain in secure systems, right? Misinformation. YouTube is often a source of unreliable medical information. The biggest thing, though, Carrie-Ann, is the privacy exposure, right? And the loss of identity protection, right? Because now this information could be used against you in the future when it comes to insurance companies, when it comes to employers, and all this stuff, even though they may not tell you that. Just to let you know, Carrie. So it is never anything I would ever do with you is get in the bed with you, sharing my medical history with anybody, okay? I would never do anything like that for many fucking reasons. Not because I have anything to hide, right? No, ma'am. But because it's none of anybody's business. Literally that. Okay? And I'm not sure, again, why somebody at your precious age of almost 48 years old, you can't grasp that. I think you can. I just think you're so fucking proud, Carrie, that you can never admit when you're fucking wrong. And I'm going to show you today, again, just how much you need to go get fucking help for yourself. And I hope that since this date, you have. I hope. I'm not sure, Carrie, why you keep projecting this life onto me, but we're going to see today who got a substance abuse problem. Is it T. Pre or is it Carrie-Ann? Let's take a look. Let me share my screen. because there was a particular part of this test and this medical history that Carrie'S shared with us that I didn't see. So we're going to go back to where we were when we first watched this video, and we stopped at the HPV part, and we just went in from that. And then we're going to go ahead and look at Carrie'S show us what type of testing she also had to take in March of 2021. Because remember, Anti, that she was going to take a drug test, right? To sue you, right? In January of 2024. Remember that, Anti? Well, what was going on in 2021, Anti? Or should I ask you, Carrie? Because it looks like you had a lot going on in 2021. Not only with that HPV test, right? To see what type of human papillomavirus you have. And I say have because that's a disease you cannot get rid of. It produces things like genital warts and other things that may clear up, like you said, right? See, we're going to play all of that today. Because I was stopping and going the other day, roasting your ass. But no, baby, we're going to listen to you today. Tell us about your medical records. And then we're going to look up some shit again. And we're going to see what these motherfucking tests mean, bitch, while you are projecting your life onto me. And then telling everybody I'm doing it to you. Like a single white female, like you say, right? Yeah. Let's get into this, guys. I'm going to play y'all a quick timer so I can grab my water. I know who I am. I need to grab my water. We're going to get right into this. It's only going to be a minute timer. So let me play a quick one. All right, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get right into this bullshit, okay? Because this is a lot. This is a whole fucking lot. And I don't know why this bitch keep playing with me, okay? But honey, like I said, I'm gonna make you a believer because you're gonna realize, like, oh, there's certain people in the universe you don't fuck with, okay? And she won't. You said we are proud people of nosiness. Amen, sister. Okay. You said, I hope everyone in the South is safe. Yes, please. Everybody in Georgia, including you, Carrie. Everybody in Georgia, everybody in South Carolina, North Carolina, all that shit. Prayers up for you. Thank God that shit's missing me. Okay. Because I ain't got time for all that bullshit. We just had that shit a week ago. Ain't nobody got time for that again. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are doing safe and everybody's going to be okay. Hope everybody's warm and safe and, all that good shit. You said that's right. You said the key word here is professional. Exactly. You said if she puts it out there, it could be talked about. Period. Right? I'm just saying, like, I'm not about to feel bad because you should have never put that out there, especially when you call yourself grandstanding on me. You call yourself grandstanding on the other ladies, and you call yourself sitting up here projecting on me. Like, you got me fucked up, honey. We're going to see today what's really going on with you, though. What's up, Make a Change? Definitely appreciate you being in the building. Yes, child. Vita's cartoon, child. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that shit. I was the same way, just taking it back, honey. Like, what's up, Pills? Definitely appreciate you for being in the building. Salute to you as well. All right, y'all. So we about to get right into this stuff. You big dummy, right? You big dummy. Why do you keep bothering me? Like, I'm not bothering you, girl. 16 Triggs. Yeah. You said, I wish a nigga would because I'm not removing my video. Okay, honey. And 4 pregnancy tests. Okay. You said, yeah, the names and addresses of the doctors she sees. That is a really bad move. Okay. And I'm just saying, like, somebody could create an entire medical identity behind this bullshit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Putting up VA information is a no. Okay. You said, so C will never get a job again, even if she begs for it, because any potential employer can see her medical records. Like, and can see that this bitch take all this lithium, that she's taking, she's like high risk for sexually transmitted diseases, all kinds of crazy shit. Like, it could be so many things going on with that sexually transmitted disease thing, guys. And I'm actually about to share something with you guys on that, because right before we get into this testing, you said that USD test is a 24-hour urine test that proves she's still having kidney issues, most likely related to drinking. Mm, 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 mm. It says you be breaking it down, Raw G. Okay. You said Clark, wow. So did Catherine O'Hara, the Canadian actress who was the mother of Home Alone in Schitt's Creek. Stanford and Son was one of my favorite shows. Okay. Hey, Cowboy Raw, appreciate you being in the building. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And you said Triggs. You said Clark. You said good afternoon. You said I saw this earlier afternoon. I could still hear her voice. Kevin. You said I love Catherine O'Hara since I was 12 years old. You said prayers and safety to everyone. You said Bernice, I have a nursing degree, so I just be chilling. Okay, just saying, Chuck, honey. She never know who she's dealing with over here. What's up, Hater Rozzy? Appreciate you being in the building. You gonna want to pull up a seat for this one, okay? Because, honey, it's about to get hot. I do know there's a couple of extra special guests in the clouds. I see you've dropped down, but there's some other special guests in the clouds. Shout out to y'all. I'm not going to call y'all out. I do know who you are. Shout out to being in the building today. And we about to get into this bullshit, y'all. Because ain't nobody fucking playing with this stupid bitch, okay? Like I said, you always out here trying to grandstand and you end up fucking yourself. Like, period. You said Carrie's stupid as hell for this move. Oh, honey, very dumb. Very fucking dumb. Okay. Rest in peace to them both. Yes, absolutely. You said, Miss Hey, beautiful. Appreciate you for being in the building. You said, yes, that was a horrible move from her. A very ridiculous, horrible move from her. So we're going to go ahead now and we are going to play. I'm going to go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit. You said, please, everyone, remember to hit that like button. Yes, please. What's up, Unadulterated Truth? Appreciate you for dropping out the clouds. I know there's some other special cloud guests out here today. Y'all, I appreciate all of y'all for being out here, okay? Y'all definitely do want to pull up a seat. Y'all going to want to go ahead, sit down. You might want to grab some tissue, because this is actually pretty sad, okay? I take no pleasure in talking about this at all. But like I said, bitch, what you're not going to motherfucking do is keep projecting your life, right, onto me and you know, and trying to act like I'm doing this to you. You are really crazy, like really fucking nuts, and you really need fucking help, okay? So we're going to see just how much today you do. Let me go ahead and without further ado, go ahead and start the video. Y'all hit the like button, guys. Let me go ahead and go back a little bit. And then, like I said, we're going to do some analyzation. So yesterday we stopped, or whatever day it was, we stopped at this HPV part. So we're going to go back a little bit and just let her just talk and rant. And then we're going to get up to the part that we need to see.
Let's see. Well, I came in the sector in what, 2020?
Yep. Y'all put a 1 in the chat as long as y'all can hear it. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat, please.
Let's see if it's some more. All right. Blood test. Now this right here, I had an irregular pap smear. That's why it's a cytology test. They was looking at my the cells in my vajayjay or whatever. Luckily it cleared up. That's why you don't see no more of these tests. But all of this, I had a weird pap smear result, which happens.
No, Carrie, just to let you know, this doesn't happen. Okay, it happens for bitches that got HPV and stuff like that, right? But this does not happen for just anyone. What's up, sexy toy lady? Definitely want to make sure that I spoke to you. Listen, this is not normal. Men, okay? Just in case y'all didn't know, there are dirty foot hoes out here like Carrie'S, okay, that like to lie on their pussy and will tell you that they're the cleanest pussy in the world, okay? And in actuality, they are one of the nastiest hoes that you'll ever know, okay? Sometimes they're walking around with no symptoms, okay? And they have HPV, which is human papillomavirus, okay? That is not something that you clear up. That is something that you have for the rest of your life once you actually contract it, okay? Now, you can get there's different like things that come from having human papillomavirus, such as getting like genital warts or things like that. I believe you can get cervical cancer, which is what they were checking her for, okay, and things like that. But you don't get rid of human papillomavirus, and you can definitely pass it on to somebody, even if you don't have any warts or any symptoms or anything like that, okay? So no, it is not something that you just clear up and you can just go fuck somebody and she had it 4 years ago and it's over. No, this is like having HIV, okay? You don't get rid of it. It's not something you get rid of. You cannot take a antibiotic and you get rid of human papillomavirus. You have it for the rest of your life, okay? However, it could lie dormant for many fucking years, okay? So you can have it and like say you caught it, because we don't know when she got it. So say she caught it when she was 25 or something like that, and she still had it 4 years ago when she was 44, right? She had it and then it came up at that time, which is what caused the abnormal pap smear to begin with, which is what caused to get them to test her with that same type of testing that they tested her with, which was that HPV E6, E7 test that she did, okay? That test is to see what type of HPV she had. And we'll go back up to that. That way you guys can see yourselves, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just making this shit up, okay? She showed us herself that she had this HPV test, along with a trichomonas test and along with a cytology test was ordered, which is right here. So you guys can see yourselves the HPV mRNA. Let me make sure this is big enough for y'all. The HPV mRNA E6, E7 reflex gen 16, 18, 45. That test is to see what type of HPV she already actively had, okay? And she still actively has, okay? Now, whether it's dormant or not right now, nobody knows. Unless you're fucking her, nobody would know that, okay? As far as the trichomonas, we don't know. I mean, that's something that you can clear up, I believe, with antibiotics, okay? But either way, she definitely had the HPV, according to her own medical records that she showed to us, okay? So let me go ahead and look at y'all comments because I don't want to miss y'all comments. And I also want to get into the rest of what we were talking about. Yes, that's that HPV, right? Cleared up. Yeah, no, HPV doesn't clear up, guys. Okay, it's literally something you will have for the rest of your life. Now, she may have gotten like a genital warts outbreak or something like that. That might have now cleared up, right? Since then, but no, she has HPV for sure. That's not even a thing. I'm not going to pretend that she doesn't. And again, I almost have secondhand embarrassment for this woman that she showed us this shit. Okay. But it's even more diabolical what she showed us outside of that. Right. You said, hey, Razi, you said, what's going on, bro? Hope you're great. You said, none of this is any of our business. None of it. Right. Like, why did she feel like you could have done anything? You claim you're the best roaster. I mean, you roasted the fuck out of yourself. Like, and then you're trying to use what's really going on in your life to try to roast me and roast other women. It's like, that's how bad you feel about your own life, is that you think it's even a roast. Like, that's fucking crazy. That is fucking nuts right there. That you're using your own life to roast other people. Like, that is fucking wild. You said cervical, ovarian, and uterine cancer. Yes. So that HPV can cause all three of those. It could cause other things too. Like I said, you can get genital warts. You can get all types of nasty fucking diseases from that. You said, so she was trying to pass that to Photon. Yeah, trying to talk about she was going to get a HIV test on his behalf. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. So, guys, that's another thing and another lesson learned, right? Just because a woman says, hey, I'll show you my HIV results, right? You need to see a full panel with some of these bitches. And if she doesn't have one, I think that's a good thing, right? It's, maybe she doesn't need one, right? There's some diseases and some tests that she wouldn't need to test for, okay? But HPV, that's a big thing. And I really think that, more people should be aware of it. I know that there's now a vaccine for it for younger Americans, right? And younger people, but it's not available for somebody her age who's already had it or who already been exposed to it. It's not reversible. So, yeah. So while she's, talking about other people, pussy and all this stuff, this is what's really going on with her. But we're going to let her finish telling y'all the rest of what's going on with her as well. You said you can get a false positive on a pap smear because the lab couldn't get an accurate reading, but then you have to take the pap test again. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what happened here. She had multiple things done after that bad pap test. But the HPV they tested, which I don't see here, but the HPV, they found that. So somewhere in her medical records, that's there, right? That she has HPV. And then they had to do this test to see what type of HPV she had so that they can find out if it's causing cancer, you know? And she has had a lot of blood work and blood testing done that looks like they're checking for cancer. That definitely has happened. She's had a lot of breast exams, a lot of unibilateral biopsies and all kinds of stuff done, that they're checking for cancer, which is pretty sad. If she did catch that from HPV, that's pretty fucked up, But again, honey, don't be saying that's just my life, honey. No, this is all you. You said, Shakem, I just realized something. A long time ago, you were clowning her about not knowing when she had a pap smear. How about that? How about that, YM? And that's funny because it's funny, around that same time, she was like, like challenging Shakem to HIV testing and all types of testing, right? And I want to share something with y'all about that because I found that really strange and some other people did too, found it very strange that she is getting all this testing done, right? And so I wanted to share this with you guys. I wanted to share something with you guys. Because, like I said, Carrie, you're going to learn to leave me the fuck alone. I said, why would a person need HIV, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea testing 3 times a year, right? Because we showed that in 2025, Carrie-Ann had at least 11 STI screenings, okay? And it says a person would need to test for HIV, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea 3 times a year, every 3 to 4 months, if they are at high risk for infections due to having multiple anonymous partners, inconsistent condom use, or, ma'am, taking PrEP, ma'am. Regular, frequent testing is crucial because these STIs are often asymptomatic, yet untreated infections can lead to severe long-term complications, okay? And you guys can look that up yourself, all right? You can look that up yourself. Now, I wanted to go to this particular part of this. It says specific group recommendations. Men who have sex with men with multiple partners are advised to test every 3 to 6 months. So if a man who is having sex with men are advised to test only every 3 to 6 months and they have multiple partners, why would a woman, ladies and men, why would a woman need to be taking that many STI screenings in 1 year? Why? And then turn around and have additional screenings even later. Within a 2-year period, you had another HIV screening. Within a 4-year period, you had another trichomonas test, an HPV test. And it turns out you had some alcohol testing going on fucking too, bitch. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and share this tab again. And we're gonna listen in on you and your excuses for your medical history.
Which happens. Blood test, I don't even know what that is. Some type of peptide test.
You know what? You don't even know what that is. You don't even know what you're testing for. Like, this is sick. You don't even know what you're testing for. But you're telling us that you're the healthy one and that I'm projecting my life onto you and that you're healthy and I'm crazy and I'm single white femaling you and you don't know what to do because you're just being attacked by these very unhealthy women. And this whole time, you're just so healthy, but you don't even know what these tests are for. I looked it up, what that test is for today, after looking at this video again, because I wanted to see what I missed. And that test is for deep vein thrombosis, okay? It's for coagulation. They want to make sure that your blood is pumping right, okay? Yeah, for various reasons. So all these health issues you got. But again, is it because there's something going on with your liver? Carrie-Ann, what's going on with your liver? Let's go ahead and figure out what's happening with Carrie-Ann. Because Carrie wants us all to know that she don't do drugs and she don't do alcohol.
All of this, none of this is STD test. We all the way back to 2021. Let's keep going. Still in 2021, no other STD test. All of these are testing my different joints. I have fibromyalgia, my spine, my hands, my shoulders, my knees. All this is testing my joints, x-rays and shit.
Which is why you should have never shown that online, because if any employer ever wanted to look at you and they saw this, they probably would hire somebody else.
Still no STD test, but let me.
And not that they would tell you. but that's what they would do.
Pre tell it. I got to get STD tests every couple of months. Like I'm the sex worker, right? We still in 2021. Still no more.
Now, do you see how you wanted to try to skip over this? We're not going to skip over this, Carrie. We're going to look up all of these right here. Okay? Now, I want y'all to check Exhibit A, which is the hemoglobin A1C, ordered by Trevor Parks, which is a physician there at the VA in Georgia. Okay? He's a regular doctor there in Georgia. Okay? He used to work for some prisons or something, and he got fired from that, and he started working at the VA in Atlanta, Georgia, and he sees Carrie-Ann, and he prescribes her medications, and he also gives Carrie-Ann, he orders testing for Carrie-Ann. He ordered a hemoglobin A1C for him to observe, which is her primary care physician, allegedly, on March 30th, 2021. Right here, right? You guys see that, right? But you notice above these three tests, there's another hemoglobin test the same day, but it has a different ordering provider on there. Janet Will, guys, is a psychiatrist at the VA. Carrie-Ann, correct? So the psychiatrist wanted a copy of your hemoglobin A1C, and your primary care provider also wanted a copy of your hemoglobin A1C. And then there was, by your primary care doctor, ordered a drug screen on the same date, March 30th, 2021. So pull up a seat, Anti. Pull up a seat, Anti, because remember, she was going to sue you, Anti, for talking about her being a drug addict, right? She was going to sue you for her, you claiming that she does drugs, right? Well, somebody wanted her to take a drug screen back in 2021. Now, I thought about it and I said, well, maybe, this was some routine drug screening from her job or whatever, because at the time, Carrie was still working at Tucker High School. So perhaps she was getting some regular drug screening, right, from that. But above that drug screen is a drug test, gin, toxicology, urine, ordered on the same date by Trevor Parks, the alleged primary care physician, because that's what he is a primary care physician there at the VA. You guys can look it up yourself. Shout out to Carrie-Ann. And then above that one, also ordered by Trevor Parks on the same date, was an alcohol metabolites with confirmation urine test. And so again, I was like, well, maybe again, they need to just test them, right? So a couple of different scenarios came up. Perhaps both of these tests are required for the job, right? You just need to make sure that the job is good, and every teacher has to take these tests, right? Again, this whole time throughout these medical records, we didn't see anything like this in there. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure why the job would want to be ordering this only in 2021 and not any other time, during this medical history, even though we saw 16 STI screenings, right? We didn't see any other alcohol screenings or drug screenings or anything like that in there. And so what does all this mean, right? Well, the first thing I wanted to do was check with what is the difference between a drug screen and a drug toxicology screen, right? Because why would they have both of them? What is the difference between a drug screen and a drug toxicology test? Let's see. Let's see. A drug screen is a fast preliminary qualitative test, often a 5 to 10 panel cup strip that detects the presence of broad drug classes. A drug toxicology or confirmatory test is more specific quantitative analysis, e.g., GC-MS, that identifies exact drugs, metabolites, and their levels, offering higher accuracy and fewer false positives. So the key differences here. Purposes. Screens are for quick screening, such as workplace, initial ER visits. Toxicology tests, right? Let me highlight this. Toxicology tests are for confirming screening results, legal forensic purposes, or detailed medical evaluation. So when you got this drug screen, right? No, you ain't had no more STD tests, right? That you showed us anyway. That I stuck around long enough to get anyway, right? But when you had this drug screen, obviously something tested positive on that drug screen, which required you to also have a drug toxicology urinalysis. Okay? Because now they wanted to know and confirm the drugs that were in your system. Okay? Now, the third test was an alcohol metabolites with confirmation urine, right? And at first, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt and say, well, maybe they were just testing her for this because they wanted to make sure that she's not mixing alcohol with her medications, right? But again, this test doesn't show up anywhere else in her medical records. It only shows up here. And why would that be? Right? Why would it be that in 2021 only that they would want to test her for alcohol, right? And for drugs and get a specific drug test to see exactly which type of drugs she's taking, right? After screening her for drugs and getting a preliminary result, right? Of positive, obviously, and then, or getting a false positive, we could say, right? And then needing a drug test toxicology urinalysis, right? All ordered by her primary care doctor, allegedly, according to the VA. And then this alcohol metabolites. Let's look this up. Well, you know what? Before we do that, let's do this. Why would a doctor order both a drug screen and drug toxicology test? Why would they order both of those? Why? Right? What were you doing? Where were you at? What could have been happening that you would order both of these? A doctor orders both a drug screen and a toxicology test to first quickly detect the presence of substance and then use a more precise confirmatory test to rule out false positives and identify specific drug metabolites. This two-step approach ensures accuracy in diagnosing overdoses monitoring addiction treatments, or verifying medication compliance, right? Which again, perhaps it could have been the medication compliance, right? It could have been that, right? But why would you need a drug screen as well? And why are you not getting these drug tests now, right? And then you're not getting a drug toxicology now. See, there's other reasons why these things would happen, such as legal or workplace requirements. Accurate confirmation is necessary when test results have significant implications for employment, legal matters, or recovery programs. Because see, remember, we were talking about that time where you were court ordered on some shit, Carrie'S, right? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Did this have anything to do with that, Carrie? Or was it that you're getting positive drug results? Because again, I don't know. All I know is that you're projecting this idea that I'm a drug addict. But you're the one getting toxicology urinalysis and a drug screen together. Now let's look at the alcohol thing. Let's look at this alcohol test. What is an alcohol metabolites with confirmation? Oops, hold on. Confirmation urine test. Ethyl, which again, Carrie she don't drink, right, y'all? She don't drink, she don't do drugs. Ethyl glucuronide and ethyl sulfate are the primary alcohol metabolites tested in urine, offering a long detection window of up to 80 hours, typically 3 to 5 days. These metabolites are used for monitoring abstinence with confirmation via liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, ensuring high accuracy. What is tested? The test measures ETG and or ETS, which are direct metabolites produced when the liver processes ethanol or alcohol. Confirmation methodology. While an initial immunoassay screen can provide rapid results, do y'all hear me, right? While an initial immunoassay screen can provide rapid results, a confirmed definitive result is achieved through LC-MS liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, spectroscopy, I don't know what the fuck that is, y'all, which is more specific and sensitive. Detection window. These tests can detect alcohol consumption for 72 to 80 hours or longer, far exceeding the 12-hour window of traditional blood, breath, alcohol tests. Significance ETG, ETS tests are used to determine recent alcohol consumption, even after ethanol is no longer present in the body. They are common in abstinence monitoring, professional health programs, and court-mandated testing. False positives and negatives. While highly accurate, low-level incidental exposure to alcohol, e.g. mouthwash and hand sanitizer, can sometimes produce positive results. Conversely, bacterial degeneration in urine can cause false negatives. These tests are crucial for detecting not just heavy drinking, but also light, recent alcohol consumption, typically with a cutoff of 100 to 500 milliliters. So, Carrie'S, what's going on with you? Why are you requiring an alcohol test and a drug toxicology test that's deeper than just a regular screen? While you're asking me about myself, right? While you're asking me about what's going on with me, while you're telling people without showing anybody, because see, I can show everybody what your medical records say, according to you. I'm not making this up. This is something you showed us. This is something you let us know that your primary care doctor is ordering for you. Now, we can all come to different conclusions on this, right? But the bottom line is you showed it to us. So if I come to the conclusion that you're a drug addict or an alcoholic based off of these tests alone, I think I'm well within my rights to do so, right? Because this is the testing that you're actually showing me. There's actual evidence and proof of you having these types of testing done. But you're telling the people that this is my life, that I'm the one with all these STDs, that I have alcohol problems, I have drug problems. But we now have 3 drug tests for you in the past 3 or 4 years. In the past 4 years. 3 drug screens and an alcohol metabolites with confirmation screen. They wanted to see right then and there. They could have just gave you a rapid test and that would have been cool. But no, they wanted to go deep in your motherfucking shit. They wanted to see what your levels were. They wanted to see how much you were using. According to your medical records. Now, again, you didn't click on them for us to see what the results were, right? You just showed us all willy-nilly, all your medical history, all while talking about me and talking about everybody else. And again, I wasn't going to bother you at all. I wasn't going to show anybody this. I would have moved on. But when I heard you saying again some bullshit about me with no evidence, no proof, just slandering my fucking name, right? See, you can't say the same thing about me. If I call you a drug addict now, and I call you an alcoholic now, because I got proof of your shit from you. I got proof of this shit from you, honey. This is sad. But again, you're going to learn to leave motherfuckers alone. Because when you bother people and you're just out here just putting out negativity and negative energy for no reason, and you're doing it for months and months and months on end and just being the demonic person that you are, your energy that you try to put out for other people, it returns to you tenfold. I told you this a long time ago. I also told you that you're an agnostic person, that you're not an atheist. You definitely believe in spirit. And so that is why this energy is going to return to you, and it's going to continue to do that as long as you're doing this type of bullshit. As long as you're living this ridiculous ass, sad fucking life that you have, and then projecting this life onto other women and other people, this is the negativity that you're going to continue to experience. But again, I don't have control over you. I got control over me. I don't have to continue to go back and forth and argue with you, Carrie. I've shown you now your mirror. You need to go get help. You need to get off the internet, stop crying on the internet about people not wanting to talk to you, people not wanting to yell back and forth with you after you've, insulted them and disrespected them. You need to stop crying about that. And you need to go get some serious, serious help. Because when you actually have your shit together, you're not that bad of a person. But when you're out here doing all this fuck shit and just being reckless and just talking reckless and just doing this fuck shit, this is the energy you continue and will continue to receive. And I don't feel sorry for you. That's why I told you to just leave me alone. Because I knew I wasn't going to feel sorry for you. I knew I was not going to be I was going to be relentless. So here you go. Congratulations. You're a hoe and you're a fucking drug addict and you're a fucking alcoholic. Allegedly, according to your fucking medical records and the tests, the types of tests that you have to take, the types of tests that your doctor has prescribed for you. Congratulations, sweetheart. Let me give you a little hand clap, as a matter of fact. I know I got some extra special shit for you. I know I got some special sound effects and shit, I know I got them. Congratulations, sweetheart. You are the weakest fucking link. It don't matter how much you try to make it something else. It is literally your fault that we're looking at this today and that we've looked at every other part of your medical history as well. That we've seen that you've had multiple drug tests, that you've had multiple HIV screenings, you've had 16 different STI screenings in a year. I'm sorry, no, I'm lying. You had 11 different STI screenings in 1 year, right? Where you had that HIV, the syphilis, the chlamydia, the gonorrhea. In that one, you had the MGen panel. You also had a trichomonas in this panel. Then down a little bit more, you had the HIV screening again, and you had another syphilis again. And then down here, you had the trichomonas, the gardnerella, and the fungus. You had 11 screenings in 1 year. That was all in 2025. Nobody made that up. This is your video. And then we went on and you had more screenings. Another HIV test. Well, that was the one you showed us already. Then you went on and blamed Photon for an HIV test.
Time I got tested for STDs.
Then you tried to blame Photon for an HIV test you had to have. You tried to blame Anti for that drug screen right there. This UDS4, right? Where they were checking on your liver and all these other things and
all these blood.
They have to, all these blood tests they have to keep giving you, right? Checking on your thyroid and all these other things. And then over here, you get another HIV. And then over here, Carrie. That trichomonas and that HPV. That HPV, that specific type of HPV test you had to have, right? Along with the trichomonas again, 3 years earlier, right? And then at this precious age you got, right? And then carry the diabolical part, besides the HPV, besides that, right? Besides the other shit, right? Here you go. Well, hold on. Let me pull it up a little bit. Here you go, Carrie. Once again, showing us all your fucking ailments, right? All your issues. Showing us the lithium you take, right? And then these alcohol, drug tests, and drug screenings, and they did the confirmation type tests on you at a specific date. And you want to know from me what's going on with me? Again, prove it. Prove it. Prove it, bitch. Let me go ahead and look at y'all comments, and then I'm done. Like I said, I'm not going to keep arguing back and forth with this dumb hoe. I really don't give a fuck about this bitch. I'm sick of this hoe. And like I said, we're not going to keep going back and forth with this stupid bitch. At the end of the day, you need to get your shit together, baby. That's just what it is. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. You said, smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they feeding you, dirty plants, dirty plants? It's her fault, child. It is absolutely her fucking fault that this is happening. Like, I don't feel bad at all. I'm never going to feel bad about this. You said she didn't get a pap smear again in 2021? Nope. Nope. At least these records don't show that anyway, right? I'm thinking she did, like she went to like a Planned Parenthood or some shit, right? And then they gave her that, then she had to go to her primary to get the rest of that shit, But anyway, you said, damn, I know her couch stank. Poor Bugsy, child. You said taking prep and all off that smashing skin to skin, child. Who knows, right? It's possible if you're taking out that many STD tests in that short period of time. It's not out of the ordinary to think that she'd be taking prep, right? You said that combination might melt the petri dish. Okay. You said pills. We got to inform Blue, child. Listen. You said Triggs, LOL. You right though. Okay. Somebody need to call the CDC on that bitch, man, for real. You said penis finna melt off sleeping with that woman. Okay. You said that's a lot of testing. They don't normally do that much testing, y'all. Nobody is getting that much testing. Period. Just saying, y'all. Y'all see that shit? Those of us, honey. Those of us. You said she's been tested more times than the porn star Mia Khalifa. Listen, P said that the other day. He was like, damn, is she a porn star or something? And I'm like, we don't know, right? But even porn stars aren't getting tested this much, okay? Like the only way somebody's getting this much testing in a year's period of time is for them very same things we actually said, like, period. But while you out here talking about I'm drinking and smoking and doing drugs and all this other shit, like, girl, you the one getting these alcohol metabolic testing done and all this crazy shit. You said she been told you ain't a natural woman, child. Damn, Triggs, right? You said beautiful. Yeah, I only know that name for research purposes. You said she's just a dumpster, a whole fucking. You can literally go dumpster diving in Carrie'S pussy, man. It is so fucking nasty. What's going on? What's up, Ghost? I appreciate you being in the building. You said, but you are showing it, right? Why the fuck would she ever show us her medical records? Why would she ever do this shit? Break it down, sis. Okay, I had to break it down for y'all. You said all the doctor names and shit, man. Dang, Pre. You said, but Pete Janet will order one as well. Same day. She's a Karen. You said, wow, she's impatient, honey. She wanted it today. She didn't want to wait for Trevor to send it over. She wanted it right now. Okay. Her doctors want these rapid tests. Okay. Amen. Okay. I'm just saying, like I said, honey, you're going to learn the Lord today, sweetheart. Yes, you are. You said, I mean, she's as showing all of it, right, child? It don't make no sense. Wow, right? You said haberdasheries and hemoglobin, right? You said, I mean that she is showing all the various tests herself, right? Like, you can't get mad at me. I know you want to project it onto me. I know you want to manipulate everybody into believing it's me, okay? But no, Carrie, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's all you, sweetheart. You said, I mean that she's showing all, okay, I read that. You said, spot them, blood and urine, child. You said, raw, it's a bit weird. They could just consult over the same test together, right? Like, right? You said, YM, yeah, it is. It's very weird. You said, I'm telling you, the probably kept her that day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because that one person is a psychiatrist. And then her primary doctor, he wanted his own, right? So yeah, was that the day you was in? Let me shut up. Let me be quiet. Let me fucking be quiet, girl. But leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Okay. You said, damn, shorty, SMDH. You said you're gonna have to learn to just sit some things out. You don't always have to prove stuff to people. Look, girl, your coochie isn't happy right now. Your coochie ain't happy. Your liver ain't happy. You're out here getting drunk, getting high. You're out here got the psychiatrist ordering medications and stuff for you. You got the psychiatrist ordering, hemoglobins, and they checking on your blood, and your doctor is also checking. Honey, what's going on with you? What really happened? Hmm? What really happened, Carrie, on that day? On that March 30th of 2021. What happened that day, Carrie? Exactly, beautiful. You said, raw, mysterious child. I don't know. You said, it's no way these doctors know she's doing the same test with multiple doctors at the same time. Why would she do this? Was she embarrassed and did she not want to see the same doctor again? I'm confused. I'm thinking that she was 5150 and the psychiatrist came to see her and they ordered blood work on her, and her primary doctor also ordered blood work on her because they wanted to see what types of drugs she was taking, and they wanted to give her not only a drug screen on that day, they also gave her a drug toxicology test. So whatever it was that was going on with her, they needed to find out what the fuck it was in her system. And they did an alcohol test too, a metabolic test to see what her levels were. They didn't just want to give her a breathalyzer, right? And just give her a regular test. They wanted to go deep up in her molecular and see how much, because of the type of medication she takes as well. So they wanted to see if this shit was mixing and it was causing problems for her health wise. It was causing psychosis for her. See, these are things I'm thinking, right? I don't know for sure because I'm not a doctor, but based off of the medical records she showed, that's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me, that she was either drunk or high out of her mind when she got into a 5150, got into that hospital, right? And they wanted to know what was going on. And not only did her primary order blood work on her, but the psychiatrist ordered blood work on her too as well. Y'all can look it up for yourself. The names of the doctors were there for you to see and for you to look yourself and see if Janet Wills is a psychiatrist and Trevor Parks is a primary care doctor at the Georgia VA over there in Atlanta. Shout out to Carrie for showing us all her shit. So, yeah, that's what I think. That's my theory. You said, this is crazy, ain't it? I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. You said combining a drug screen, comprehensive toxicology, and alcohol metabolite test on the same day provides a 360-degree view of recent substance use. Bitch, don't you ever play with me, ho. Don't ever call me no motherfucking drug addict and no motherfucking. Stop projecting your shit onto me because this is clearly your life according to your own medical history. You showed it to us. You should have never let me see that. You should have never let me see that. You said this comprehensive approach is typically used for safety sensitive employment, legal probation requirements, or addiction treatment, detecting both current impairment and alcohol use within the past 12 to 80 hours. Okay, so you were 5150. You were put into a hospital, allegedly, according to these hours, according to these time frames, according to this type of testing that you had done. Okay, and the two doctors that were involved, one being the psychiatrist, right? And Anti, I'm sure she can give some commentary on this. Okay, because she works in licensed marriage and family therapy. Okay, I'm sure she can give some commentary on this. The psychiatrist or therapist, some of them have medical prescribing rights, right? They can prescribe medications and stuff. They can order blood work and stuff like that too. So your primary and that psychiatrist, they are the ones that were working together for you on that particular data service. You said, Triggs, I really believe so. Wait a minute, hold on. Triggs, I really believe so. but little do she know they can see all that shit. Okay, I'm just saying. You said she might have been in crisis at the time, hence all those tests. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking, right? And they wanted to know what alcohol she was on, whether she was on alcohol, whether she was on drugs. And they did a preliminary drug screen on her, and that came back positive. And then they did a drug toxicology and an alcohol toxicology test on her the same fucking day. You said the hemoglobin AC1 ordered by the psychiatrist probably was to measure the level of psych drugs in her bloodstream. Also, it checks her white blood cell count. Yeah, I know. I know you, and I feel like you try to give her the benefit of the doubt oftentimes, but I think you're not seeing the full picture of everything else that was ordered too. You said, hey, Raw, respect. You said, teachers don't have to take drug screens, though. She might have been in an emergency situation. I don't know. Yeah, and that's what it looks like. It looks like it was a 5150 type of situation to me. You said she wouldn't get an immediate answer, right? It's not possible that she received bad info and wanted a second opinion on the same day. No, no. And mind you, this is alcohol and drugs, right? So it's either you're taking drugs and alcohol or you're not, right? Like it's no, oh, I don't like this answer, right? You either on drugs or you're not, right? You either on alcohol or you're not, right? So it's like, even if she didn't like the answer, I'm not really sure why that would be. But I feel you though. You said that panel is called a ETG, probably when she attacked that man, girl. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about that. Yeah, she attacked this guy and she ended up in the hospital. Carrie had told me the story by saying that she said that the guy had attacked her on the street, right? And that he was like this homeless guy and he attacked her on the street. Then she ended up telling me, and so pull up a seat, Kip, okay, because this is how you come into play on why we thought that you knew this story, okay? So I just wanted to get a sip of my water, y'all. Anyway, so the reason why she thought you knew this story, Kip, is because that one time you were in the sector and you were saying, yeah, Carrie, and I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you. I got more stories on you. Carrie had called me that day and she was like, T-Pri, I'm really worried about what Kip said because remember when I told you about the homeless guy that attacked me? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, that's actually, I didn't tell you the full story. Come to find out, I was put in a hospital and this guy had beat my ass. So like she was fighting with the dude in the hospital, and the guy, he was a patient in there too, and he like hit Carrie because she was like acting a fool. She was in there like stomping out and snapping and carrying on and doing all this crazy shit. She didn't want to be in there, obviously. And then the guy fucked her up. Okay. And so one of the patients in there fucked her up and she got knocked the fuck out in there. This is her story now. She's telling me, right? And then that's how she was in there. So I told her from that story that nobody would ever find out about that because if it's in the hospital setting, there's HIPAA laws around it. Nobody would be telling, the story that they can't, by law, there's no police report on it or any of that. And she was like, okay, right. But she still really was worried about anybody finding out about this. Well, the real story is, and well, I don't know what the real story is because I don't know. I've heard this. I have not looked for a police report. I don't know whether it's true or not. But what I've heard is that Carrie was messing with some dude. The dude didn't want to fuck with her no more. And he'd been not wanting to fuck with her. And so she ran down on this nigga's house and she was snapping out, carrying on, throwing shit, doing all this. She was like drunk and high and all this shit and fucking shit up. And then he came and he called the police and the police came and she got to fighting with the police and they locked her ass up into a mental ward. And that's how she ended up in that 5150 situation. So there's 3 different stories to this. I don't know which one of these are true. Okay. She definitely told me one of those stories. She told me two of those stories. The other third story, the one I just told you, I heard that through the grapevine. I don't know how true that one is. Okay. I don't have any proof of that one. I don't know about that one. The other one, Carrie physically told me those two stories herself. Okay. So I ain't got no reason to make this shit up. This is what she told me. She did not give me a date on it. So I can't match the date to her medical history. But according to what the medical history says, it sounds like that's exactly what the fuck was going on. Was on that date, and that's when this shit happened. Okay, so anyway, I don't know, but like I said, that's what it sounds like. Okay, so shout out to you, Raw. You said, "Hey, what's up, Skunk Freaker? Appreciate you being in the building, and P, appreciate you being in the building as well." You said my doctor knows I smoke the ganja. My doctor knows too. Well, it's legal here, so most places it is. He said, P, you was a bit harsh tonight, sir, but great live. It was a little harsh. I'm not getting in that shit, child. I ain't getting in that shit, child. You said, is that when she was 5150? Yeah. You said, Ray, probably not harsh enough, child. You said, raw. You said, most patients on psych meds get a blood test every 3 to 6 months max. You said, thank you, Ray. Um, some do. I don't know, but this was very different. This is, but and again, Lorna, we've been through 4 years worth of her medical records, and in those 4 years of her medical records, I don't see all these alcohol tests and drug tests. I don't see all that. So where is all the? I'm not seeing that. Only thing I'm seeing is the lithium level panels, and checking on her vitamins and stuff like that. But we're not seeing the toxicology testing and all that stuff. That's not happening. That happened on that 5150 day. And what was you drinking? And what was you fucked up on, girl? You said, do you think she regrets sharing her personal information? Probably not. Because Carrie is so fucking proud. You know what I mean? She act like she's never wrong about nothing. She probably hasn't even woken up and realized that she did it yet. So probably not. Or she might, right? But she'll never tell us. She'll never tell us that. And she'll keep showing them too. Probably show more. And we're gonna go over them too. Shit. You said a medical assessment, including blood and urine tests, is standard procedure when being admitted to a mental hospital, often conducted in the emergency department to ensure to ensure physical stability. These tests are part of a general medical clearance to rule out or address underlying issues, infections, or substance use. Child. And the crazy part about it is she got the drug test, right? She got the drug screen and then turned around and got the toxicology test as well. And then got the alcohol toxicology test as fucking well. Like, why did they want to know that much? How come they couldn't just give a preliminary screening like they did? Because they gave her a preliminary drug screening and then they turned around and gave her the rest. Child, it's very interesting, honey. You said, "My, is she slow? This issue's first place." Child. I mean, damn. Okay, she very much played herself. You said, "I'm trying to figure out too, Skunk." You said because the 304 is a goofy bitch. Okay. You said mind chaos, true, but some psych drugs can deplete the white blood cells over time. So most doctors check every couple of months. Well, that's not what this was, though, that we were checking on today. Now, maybe you were looking at the one part where we were talking about the lipid tests and all those things. But these toxicology tests, she's not getting those on a regular basis. She's not getting them every couple of months. She got them that time on that date, right? She got the drug screen, and then got a drug toxicology test, and then got an alcohol toxicology test on the same day while she was in the psych ward, right? And why? Do you have a drug and an alcohol problem? Why did they have to test you so many times that day? You said they generally test your blood not for alcohol unless you are in treatment. Exactly. Exactly. Like you're like, please, right? You say, yeah, but the combination of those tests is for that specific function. Exactly. You said raw. Oh, I know. I've seen firsthand, right? You said they generally test your blood, not for alcohol unless you are in treatment. You said Skunk, the beautiful Bernice, she was trying to bully Pre. This is the perfect case of when bullying goes fucking wrong. Okay. I didn't feel bullied though, but yeah. You said, good grief. Is there a test she hasn't taken? Okay. My, child. Okay. He says, so true, Clark Clark. 830 miles. That's a long drive for a booty call full time. Okay. 860 miles. Okay. You said, Clark Clark. You said, how about that, Dr. Fung? Okay. The projection is real, man. It's the way that she keeps trying to manipulate and project and manipulate and project. But again, I don't have no control over that. But I definitely can show y'all the motherfucking truth, child. Okay, I can definitely show y'all the motherfucking truth. You said, we got a SNE AFW itch here. I won't say who, but we know who you are, motherfucker. Okay. 100, 100. You said so true, Pre. You said I don't know what all. You said I don't know what all this means, but I do know this. Keep your personal business off the fucking internet, child. Okay. Keep your shit off the internet. You said facts, don't hate, appreciate. You said that's only page 7. There were 256 entries on there. There was like 26 pages worth of medical documents and medical records and entries in there. It is really ridiculous. You say, and that was just for lab tests. That was just for lab results and lab tests. And shit. That's ridiculous. That didn't include the any surgeries or any medication. Well, it did have the medication testing, right? It didn't include the primary care visits, the any other visits. It didn't include any of that. Just wild. You say, yeah, she do need help, especially posting her my chart. Right? Who would do some shit like that? You said, mind chaos brew, Lord, there is more child, more. You said, damn, child. You said, it is what it is, straight up and down. Okay. I'm just saying. You said, I know this ish because my ex had all these tests. It's like twins and ish behavior matches, right? You said, this is crazy and spooky, right? Shout out to Bugsy. Child, you said, I think it's 256. Yeah, it was 256 things. And there. Hey, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, T Pre, my wall about Dr. Trevor. Okay, let me check and see. Hold on. I appreciate you coming in. Hold on, y'all. Give me just a second, guys. I want to get to informant sugar. And I see propane is live. We're going to get over there soon in a minute because I'm almost done. Hold on 1 second, guys. Thank y'all for y'all patience. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it for. I might have to check it after the show because I don't see it right this second. Okay, give me. I'm gonna check it after the show. All right, so give me a second and I'll check it later on. But I appreciate you coming in and shout out to you. Okay, you said TP my wall about Dr. Trevor, so I will check that. You said Bugsy looking straight ahead. Child. He's like, please, y'all, don't give me this HPV, child. Okay. He said, you said, I'm smoking and drinking right now, and I'm bastard, child. I'm just saying. He said, this is a teachable moment. I pray that she will take this opportunity to be responsible and take care of her health, right? And stop projecting your life onto me, honey. Stop. Because like I said, you the one that's looking like the alcoholic and the drug addict, while you the one that's got to take all these metabolic tests and all this other shit, and they want to find out whether you're in treatment or these are the types of tests you take while you're in treatment, take while you're in a fucking program and all this other shit. Girl, you don't get the fuck out of my face calling me this shit. You said she says this proves that she doesn't have anything. But why would we need to test for everything? Right. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And nobody's getting all these extra alcohol tests and drug tests and shit. Ain't nobody getting that shit neither. You said Bugsy deserves support animal of the year for putting up with all this. Word, right? Somebody need to send him some treats or something. You said I'm gonna have to review this tomorrow. Child, while she out here calling me an alcoholic and a drug addict. Look at you, bitch. While you out here saying I have STDs and shit. Like what? Show it. Prove it. Or you gonna find yourself out with a lawsuit. And I mean that shit. Because you're gonna have to prove it. Because now I can prove why I'm saying what I'm saying about you. I can say these things with ease, honey, based off of your medical history. Right? But where are you getting this shit about me? Well, where are you getting this from? Prove it. You said salute, big dog. You said skunk salute, big dog. You said beautiful Bernice. As women, we have our yearly doctor visits. The most we will have to do is blood and pack, right? And that's it. And maybe a mammogram, right? You're not doing anything else. There are all these HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea tests. Nobody needs that shit unless you or your partner are just that nasty. Facts. These are facts. Or you're taking prep, or you're taking one of those, like say you had a trichomonas test and then you have to get retested again a couple of times to make sure that the infection has cleared up, right? That's the only reason you're going to be getting that many STI tests and shit. Nobody's just doing that. She's just fucking crazy. And she's even crazier that she thinks anybody would believe that shit. You said, Tiggs, I showed Bugsy to my dogs and they told me he is abused. Oh. You said doctors can see records and tests done is part of her medical records, right? Right. You said skunk. You said Clark, you got to show them the dancing. You said Clark, I think it's very sad that she thinks it is normal, especially this is normal, right? Especially at her age. Like, yeah. And even the fact that, she was showing like all the ailments and other types of tests that she had done were for fibromyalgia and cancer and stuff. These are not things that an employer is allowed to ask you on, an application. But you think they're not using that stuff to find, if they found something like this, you think that they wouldn't use that against you? Like, why would you ever tell your medical history to the public? You would never do anything like that. Ever. That's the purpose of HIPAA laws, to protect people from things like that, so that they don't put your information out and it doesn't hinder you. This is why you need to go get real serious mental health care, Carrie'Ann, because this stuff you're doing is diabolical and it's detrimental to you. Like, really, somebody needs to do a wellness check on you. Honestly, you need a wellness check with this shit that you're doing. You said, CC, it was spooky. One of my dogs looked like Bugsy, but is groomed, right? You said not the kind of groom Kip likes. Pause. No. You said, are you dropping a link? I can, if you'd like me to. Hold on, let me. Damn, I haven't dropped the link in so long. Hold on, y'all. All right, hold on 1 second. Give me just a second, guys. And any of y'all can hit the link. You definitely can. As long as everybody keep it respectful. That's the type time we on today. All right, guys. So I got the link in the chat, so you guys can hit the link. All right. Let's see here. So it says the beautiful Bernice, indeed. All right. You said the beautiful Bernice, I agree. You said on Mikey's show, she showed records of car ownership and it all had, I saw that. It had all her info on it. She said, and you told Mikey to take it down and she was confused why you said that. Yeah, it was like, why are you like, people can pull up things from like previous stuff, right? Like for stuff like that, they can put together a profile of you and all types of identity theft can happen from like medical records and different shit like that. Like you don't ever want to do anything like that, just showing people your deeds and all this stuff. There's no reason to be doing these things. You said brushing my teeth, lol. She is nuts, child. You said wow, ym, that's crazy. What is on her mind? Okay. You said original YM. Yes, I remember. You said Bernice, all she cared about was proving herself in an argument. And it's wild. It's like even now you're trying to prove an argument that you're not even having. Like I never came out here asking Carrie'Ann, show your medical records, bitch. You a drug addict. I didn't even realize that this alcohol and drug thing that happened during this 5150 thing was on her records until I looked at that shit earlier today. Honestly, I couldn't believe that shit was there. And I wouldn't have said anything about it if she had just, if she hadn't been coming for me. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, if she hadn't been coming for me, I wouldn't have said anything. What's up, girl?
Your friends are gonna be around, child. You better go ahead.
She better leave me the fuck alone. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not bothering this hoe. I'm not doing anything to this bitch. I mean, just leave me the fuck alone, right? It's so easy. It really is. So what you think? I really did like the commentary that you were talking about. So
Well, thanks, Pooh. I'm just here to assist from the chat because I know she keeps saying my name. I ain't watched the whole, but the way I hear it, every time she turn around, she got my name in the mouth and raw bean, raw bean, raw bean. Girl,
well, we
I'm not
listened to her a
acting.
little bit today, and
Oh,
she was talking about she mentioned me in the beginning of the show, and I played the part that she said, right, about me having I'm the one with the STDs and the drugs and the alcohol and all this shit. And I'm like, okay, well, let me play that, right? And then let me play your shit again, right? So, why are you getting all these tests and shit like that? And you're trying to project this shit on me. What's really going on with you, girl?
she
Yeah.
smashing. She
Mhm.
smashing without no protection on. They just running up in her, running on through her.
Right. And it's just nasty because there's no way any woman in her right mind is getting 11 fucking STI screenings in one fucking year. No way. There's no way. In less than a year. It hasn't even been a year. It hasn't even been
Um,
a year. February will make a year that she got
mm-mm,
that trichomonas test last year. Mhm.
mm-mm. Girl, listen.
Child, nasty ass bitch, man. Nasty ass bitch. Like, stop talking about us. Why are you bothering us? Like, nobody's bothering you. Nobody's asking you for shit. Like, none of that. Hold on, let me get through
She's
a
such
couple
an
of.
easy mark, but this is the thing, sweetie, because I know you're in the clouds watching. I know you are. Listen, it's okay to be a freako. It's all right to be a freako. But at this
Right.
point in the game, you're almost 50. I'm gonna need you to wrap it up, strap it up. I'm gonna need you, you know what I'm saying, to just hold it together. Just hold your mule just for a moment. At least till you get the funky stuff out. I mean, you got all the money. You are
Hmm.
very, very rich bitch.
Right. You
So,
got all this money, right?
right.
You
But
can't clean your pussy? Come on,
right,
girl.
can you fit in the tub? Just sit in the tub and soak it. Right, put some alum in the tub water. Let the alum get in there, okay? Just do your Kegels while you're in the tub so the water can flow in and out and in and out and in, and get that
Girl.
all cleaned up. Cause, child,
Girl. I mean, this is sad. This is really
sat
fucking sad.
down. Yes,
And,
it's
and
disgusting.
it is. And I'm telling you, I wasn't gonna like even say anything, right? But when she got to talking that shit on this fucking show and saying like, well, she said, I'm not gonna keep going back and forth for her. I know the fuck you not, bitch. Like, I know you don't want to keep going back and forth with me. I know you don't, right? But you just had to say that one last motherfucking bullshit, bitch. And every time you say that last bullshit, you keep getting fucked up. But you're getting fucked up with your own shit. Like,
Right, just like when she was laying on that couch looking like Jabba the Hutt, and we couldn't tell the difference between her or the sofa. Well,
okay.
Carrie Ann, why did you keep putting your head in your coochie? Was you having an itchy and a scratchy bout on that day?
Mm, just nasty. So she
Even
visits
watch
crazy hospitals often. This is crazy. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. What the hell, T Pre? Okay. Child. You had said she got an old timey one time cabinet. Okay. You said, I know I ain't surprised. Okay, you know I ain't surprised, child. You said Carrie was stalking that man. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that. We heard that, right? You
we
said
did, but
what?
this is the thing. Also, she has that behavior because we see her stalk Photon in
Stalk-
real life.
We see her stalking all kinds of people, stalking all of
Stalking
us.
tricks.
Stalking Triggs, stalking us. Everywhere we go, she trying to hop on a panel and sit there and cry to us about why we don't want to talk to her and all this other stuff. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I've met, you know, and I'm aware of some individual that knows her and has been through very similar situations that I've been through, right?
Mm,
Um, and so forth. So, yeah, yeah, she, I mean, and look at her genes. Huh. Look at her
mm,
bloodline. Huh. Huh.
mm.
Look at her bloodline. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Carrie Ann, if I was you, I would shut up. You never know what else is going to fall out of Pandora's box. Keep pushing it.
Baby, keep pushing the box if you want to. What's up, Smoke? I appreciate you being in the building. You said, Miss Tipri, no, I do not have any sympathy for Carrie. I'm not. I'm just telling you what I have seen and practiced from a psychiatrist's point of view, considering that what members of my family does for a living. Okay, and I actually respect what you be saying. I don't want you to think I don't, right? I actually like your opinions and I do respect them. And I like that balanced point of view too. Um, so it's no problem at all. But I thought that you may have been giving her some a benefit of the doubt because we were actually doing that. There was a time I was doing that. There was a time where a couple of us were doing that. We were trying to give her, some benefit of the doubt when it came, especially down to the pregnancy test, right? And that medication stuff. But I can't give
Y'all
her no
was.
room. Yeah, yeah.
I
But I can't
wasn't.
give
I told y'all
uh,
that bitch is a hoe. She's a hoe.
she a
She's just a
hoe.
hoe.
Yeah. I can't give her no room on them chlamydia tests, them gonorrheas, them syphilis, and all them tests multiple times a year. They don't even tell gay men who are having sex with multiple partners to have that many tests in one fucking year. They don't even recommend that for them. So why the fuck? What's going on with her pussy? What is the pussy has natural cleansers. There's natural bacterium in the pussy, y'all. Natural, things going on in there that naturally clean the pussy. So you don't need to have all these tests for what's wrong with you 11 times in one year. Like what? That is
Yeah, but
unheard of.
the pussy
That
can
is
only
unheard
clean
of.
this. The pussy can only clean itself out when you let it breathe. You need to
Right.
let it breathe, child.
You
Listen,
also
I
need
just
to
came up
wash
here.
that bitch.
I mean, hell, look at her teeth. Her teeth look like a ferret. Her teeth look like Mr. Hobbit's lucky ride. Like, what we doing?
Not the ferret though. No, Carrie. No. And then you know what else, y'all? Like, I want to point out this one thing. Carrie be liking to put filters on them cameras, right? On them pictures and them things. Child, you can see, Carrie, just to let you know, because I know you watch this, sweetheart. Child, we can see the breakouts on your face. Okay? We can see them. They're not hard to see. And then you'll be putting little spot, like little band-aid spots on all the places and stuff like little teenagers do. Like girl, you're not a teenager. You need to stop doing that. You need to stop catching HPV. Okay? Well, you already got it now. You need to stop catching all these diseases, these teenagers' diseases. Okay? Like, what is going on? You older than me. You older than both of us on this panel.
Facts.
The fuck?
But let me say this. Let me say this. The thing too, because you have shown your extensive testing history with STIs and STDs. If you have sex with a man and you pass an infection onto him, you can be liable criminally because you know that you're infected and you're burning.
So I hope none of y'all had sex with her or planned on having sex with her, right? Because if you did, what's up, Renix? If you did fuck her, right? You need to go get tested because again, she's not going to tell you the truth about her health. She's still lying right now to today, literally today, about her pussy after everybody in the sector has seen how dirty her pussy is. Let me show her. Let me show her. We can share with her how many people have watched her dirty pussy and how many people have liked the video on her dirty pussy. Okay? Because, bitch, she think it's a game. She think it's a game. Let's go, Carrie. Because I don't know why you keep playing with me.
Why you wanna play games on me? And women can douche to make it smell like.
So, Carrie, this video has managed to get 629 views with 58 likes, including me. I always like my videos. 58 fucking likes, sweetheart. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take that down. Yeah, 58 likes, 629 views. 629 of us in the sector have watched. And that's how many people agree. Okay? Yeah.
But don't let the douche fool you, gentlemen. Don't let the douche fool you, okay?
How you like my AI?
Oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. You even was kind enough to give her ass a part. Girl.
You know, I had to make the doctor kind of cute because Trevor Park sound like he is a black man for sure. And he sounds like he would be cute. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
let me stay far away from her, honey.
I know that's right. Let me drop that link for you too in the back chat that Informer Sugar was trying to show you because
oh, okay, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah,
got you.
And shout out to Informer Sugar. I appreciate you coming in the building, sis. You got it.
She's always on the crime scene. There you go. I put in the back chat. Let me jump though. But girl, keep dragging her ass. Bye,
okay, thank you. All right, bye. All right, so let me share this real quick. Let me share my screen. And then we're actually going to end the show. All right, so, oh yeah, this is the guy. Yo, I definitely got some one-hitter quitters on the motherfucker, yo. On the motherfucking trigger out this bitch. Shout out to Informant Sugar, child. Listen, I would have cracked the fuck up looking at this later, but I'm going to laugh now because this is Carrie'S doctor, y'all. Okay? So I'm trying to read it, but I'm going to let y'all go through it yourselves. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back. Okay. So let's read it. A doctor for prison inmates resigns amid questions about his certification. The doctor in charge of medical care for 12,000 New York City jail inmates abruptly resigned last week after questions arose about his professional certification, forcing city officials and executives at the company that employed the doctor to race to find a temporary replacement. The doctor, Trevor P. Parks, resigned on Wednesday, a day after a reporter called the city's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, which oversees the. Hold on, we're going to go forward a little bit. Carrie. I told your bitch ass, leave me alone, girl. All right, come on, we're going to move on. Okay. All right, we're going to move up a little bit. Okay. The doctor, Trevor Parks, resigned on Wednesday after a reporter called the city's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, which oversees the delivery of medical care to jail inmates, with questions concerning Dr. Parks' board certification for internal medicine. Dr. Parks, the medical director overseeing care at Rikers Island and the Manhattan Detention Center, worked for Prison Health Services, a Nashville company that holds a $123 million contract with the city's health department for comprehensive jail medical care. The company, one of the largest for-profit correctional health care companies in the country, has held that city contract since 2001, but not without controversy. While city health officials have defended the company's performance and dedication to improvement, prison health critics, including state medical officials and some, and hold on, we're going to play it a little bit more so we can pull it up. Shout out to Informant Sugar. Baby, keep playing with God, people, okay? Keep playing with God, chill. Hold on, let me move it up a little bit so I can read it. Okay, the company is one of the largest for-profit correctional healthcare companies in the country, has held that the city contract since 2001, but not without controversy. While city health officials have defended the company's performance and dedication to improvement, prison health critics, including state medical officials and some company doctors and clinicians, have said its focus on cutting costs and staff led to substandard care. Not long after the company arrived in the city, and the State Commission of Correction, hold on, which investigates each prison or jail death, began publicly criticizing prison health for what is called pattern of providing care that repeatedly harmed inmates with acute physical or mental illness. It's kind of hard to read this, guys. Okay. And then it says, Dr. Parks, the medical director overseeing, oh, well, that was the end of that. That was the end of that. So y'all can go look at that yourselves. There is a link to it. Okay. I'm going to put the link again in the comment section. Shout out to Informant Sugar, but Carrie'S, I guess you finding out like we are today that your doctor ain't shit. Okay. Not only, okay, is your pussy ain't shit, okay, and that, you know, all the other shit going on with you, all these drug screenings, you're going to the hospital, you're getting alcohol testing, all this other shit, crazy shit going on with you. You know, your doctor ain't shit either. Okay. Shout out to you for letting us know who your doctor is, okay? And you're going to learn to keep your fucking medical history off the internet, sweetheart, okay? You're going to learn to stop sharing your personal identifiable information on the internet and sharing shit with the people. All right, guys. So y'all can check out that link right there. And that goes to the actual person that Carrie, that's her damn doctor. Okay. Listen, baby, you cannot make this shit up to save your life. Okay. What's up, Remix? Appreciate you being in the building, man. You was definitely the talk of the town around here, sir. You definitely the talk of the town. I don't know. I know this. I know our sector. We one man for itself around here. We don't do all that other stuff. But shout out to you. You said original YM. I'm calling my agent tomorrow. I need pitch meetings ASAP. Too many networks need drama for me to not write this. Okay, like. You said raw beat. I'm just copying smoke. Salute Queen. You said remix. Salute. You said unadulterated. This is definitely worth a 3-part series. Well, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know. I hope I don't have to talk about it no more. I hope she don't show us no more medical records. But if she does, right? And there's other STD tests and other diabolical, testing on there. I might look at that shit. It depends on how, serious it is. Depends on how it looks. You said salute to Skunk. You said remix, what's up, bro? You said Lorna, I adore you. What the hell, child? You said the self-doxing caused no filter, right? You said not certified, child. Okay, not certified. Not a certified child. He's not certified. Child, don't make no motherfucking sense. I appreciate you coming through today. You said cuz got a card. It's all on taxpayers, all of you tax. Okay. You said, hey, informant love. You said, I work hard. I'd be pissed, but it ain't my country, right? I know you over there in Australia. You know they only play that shit over there, huh? You said, mind chaos. Appreciate you. You said, informant sugar. Salute. You said, almost 50 and losing it, child. It don't make no motherfucking sense. You said, these are things that will ensure she never gets life insurance or a fucking job, right? Now we've stuck with Carrie in the sector for the rest of her motherfucking life because she ain't gonna get no job. Ain't nobody gonna hire that bitch. You said, just in case my job watching, I bathed today and I also brushed my teeth, okay? You said, facts in the words of Easy, rest in peace. They say, fuck them, child. You said, sit SM motherfucking age. Raw dogging, child. You said, Lorna, you said, Miss T. No, I have been pissed at her since she lied on Raw G show about doctor's advice she was given. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. There'll be a lot of people that don't fuck with that girl. You said, pills, you addicted. That's admitted. You said, motherfucker, the world is rotten like veins in my left arm. Addicted to what? I'm not sure what y'all talking about right now. You said, is he still her doctor? I wonder. I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't look at the medical records recently to see what the doctors' names were. I do know that there's different doctors' names, but that was her doctor then. Child. He's ridiculous too, man. Ridiculous pussy, ridiculous doctor, ridiculous every motherfucking thing, child. You said he's not board certified. He ran to Atlanta. Oh, he's not board certified. He's not board certified. And so he ran to the VA. Wow, Carrie. Your doctor really ain't shit, okay, child? You can't make this shit up, man. What's up, Hater Rise? You said T-Pre, this was grade A virtual ass whooping. Okay. That's what happens when motherfuckers bother you, and you ain't bothering them. You ain't giving them a hard time. You ain't asking them for shit. You're not talking shit to them. You're not doing none of that shit. Bitch, get your ass in here so I can fuck you up real nice and real good and quick. Okay. And, and then, you get the fuck up out of here, bitch. We ain't feeding no strays tonight. Ho. You said, good night, everybody. And I do appreciate all of y'all for coming out. You said, no woo banging, no woo banging. Okay. And we are definitely looking forward to your next show, Hater Razi. Definitely appreciate you coming out tonight. I know your brother's somewhere lurking in the clouds. 2 gates. I know you scared to drop out them clouds gates. Okay. But shout out to you and your brother. And shout out to you especially for bringing your brother through here because he is a hilarious nigga, man. That dude is funny as shit. Y'all make sure y'all go over and subscribe to Hater Razi Radio. And we are out of here, y'all. I am very fucking tired. It's midnight around here. For those of y'all that want to do a little after party, we can go ahead and do that. Y'all know where that's at. And peace, guys. I appreciate y'all for being in the building. And shout out to the sector. We out of here, y'all. Let me go ahead and put up my music. And I'll see y'all in the back. Peace, y'all.